Hey everybody, welcome back to Ryan Makes Sense, where we talk personal finance, investing, and chart analysis. Today we are looking at SoFi. They do have earnings coming up here, and I have been wanting to look at the stock for a while. Um, Last I remember, they were not profitable, had a bunch of debt, possibly, tons of shares outstanding. Um, but I know they're trying to make a name for themselves, and I think they're actually going to be the leading online banking option in the future. I know plenty of people who are using SoFi as their checking, credit card, investment account. So let's take a look at SoFi and see what we can figure out. What I want to get out of this video is number one, is there a share lockup coming where they could release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, 1,000 million shares on the market, diluting the supply? That's number one. I don't normally look for that, but since SoFi, the price of the stock is so low, it could be really impacted. So I just want to check that out. Are institutions and hedge funds buying? Are insiders buying? When I do run my calculation, is SoFi overvalued or undervalued from here? Let's jump in and see what we can do. Okay, so with earnings coming up, we're going to run through this really quick. We can see the nearest gap up is at $8.50 on the upside. Um, and then around 9.50 possibly. And I'm just looking for gap downs where gaps have not been filled. So let me do a few things. Okay, so the price is 758 and it's only been to 640. So $5.54 on the downside. If SoFi has a horrible earnings, watch for 550. Could it go lower? Good question. I'm glad you asked. Um, I think that's it on the downside. So we have a gap at 850, 950 to fill on the upside. And that's it. Okay. So good to know. $5.50 on the downside. If it is horrible earnings, then they need to complete that gap to fill it before it moves up. That's always an option. Again, here's our second gap right here, and here's our third gap right here. It's kind of hard to see. 946. So 946 is the super bullish. 850 is this gap up, which is again bullish, and then bearish on the downside if the stock does go down. Maybe 550 if it gets there. We're going to run our numbers. We'll see what we can do. And we're going to look at the bigger picture because that's what we normally do here. Okay, so RSI is at a 48.8, which is kind of flat over the last 2 years. Momentum actually looks like it's coming down. So you can see the curl up, the stock goes up, and it comes down. Money flow also kind of trending in this downward direction. Relative momentum looks like it curled up and has been kind of flat. So when you combine all three of these could be bullish, optimistic things where we get strong buying power due to earnings, making this momentum cycle last longer on the monthly. Money flow ticks up towards 64, and the relative momentum honestly starts its long-term ascent upwards. So those are all possibilities. And then looking at this chart, because I'm sure I will review SoFi when it goes up or down and someone is just telling me I was right or I was wrong. We will come back and we will see. Let's just make it actually. So there's really good support right there. So I chose that area because this line we can see there's resistance, 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 breaks through. We have support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months of support. I think this support is getting ready to break. That's a lot of tests of support, in my opinion. And we can see this line that I also drew. It has one, two, three, four. It's been tested 4 times to the upside. So it sounds like it can't break upwards, and it's sitting on support. It's been sitting on support eight months, 8 times. So very interesting from a chart perspective. Um, we're gonna run my calculation, so don't worry. I'm just trying to draw as many lines as I can for future reference. All right, cool. And with earnings coming up, again, we do have resistance at 858, which again, that's our gap area is 850. We could tap the 850 and head back down, or we could have extreme buying pressure to where the candle closes at a very bullish point around 850. And then the next month we see it come up and test the 1050. That's my guess. If we do move to the upside. But we're going to go ahead and run my numbers to see what the stock price could be. Again, this is exactly what you want to see for a company. Just amazing liftoff, just trajectory into the sky. And then the earnings per share is literally turning the ship around very slowly, but it is turning around. This, on the other hand, is not pretty. It is, you can see from 2019 and 2020, 100 to 115 million shares outstanding to almost a billion shares outstanding in 2023. And then we have right here 1 billion 60 million shares outstanding. So the supply keeps on going into the stock, and the demand is just getting pounded because they're buying, but then boom, adding more shares on top. You get the picture. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. Okay, we're gonna run my calculation. If you are wondering what this calculation consists of, when I worked at a microcap company, we had regulators come in to price our stock. Every $100 million in sales was equivalent to $1 share price. And I add the market cap in when it's over $1 billion because that's when big money can sway a stock up or down. So enough chit chat. Let's go. They have 8 billion, 10. Whoops. No. 8. I have to do a longhand because we're mixing up a couple things. Okay. 8 billion, 10 million in market cap. That is correct. They are losing 341,170,000. But they are bringing in 2,910,000,000. Fantastic. We're now going to go down to their cash and their debt. Ooh, okay. They do have 4 billion in cash. Is this USD? Yes, it is USD. Okay. Okay, they have plus 4,155,620,000. That's insane. How do they have that much cash? They do 2,910,000,000 in sales. I wonder if they did an offering. They probably did, or they diluted the stock, which is why they have so many shares so they can get some cash. Makes sense. That's making sense in my head. So, total debt, long-term debt is 5 billion. So we're gonna minus 5 billion 362,630,000. Okay, and then while we're down here, total assets is 30 billion. That's amazing. Total liabilities 24 billion. They have a $6 billion buffer there, which is fine. That's a lot of money. I could see SoFi offering a dividend in the next 5 to 10 years. When this becomes a dominant household name, I think we could see that. We do see some incredible buying by the CEO, which is what we want to see. Um, Finance, where's the finance? Oh, the CFO. Okay, the CFO bought Um, CTO just been selling. Yeah, Jeremy Richner, but he's getting more shares. So, CEO again buying a lot in fours and fives. Okay. So it looks like this is the kind of story you want to see where the CEO's invested in the company literally. So now we're going to go back up here and we're going to take this and divide it by 977,880,000. This is a $9.58 stock. What do analysts have? 878, 11, 750, $10, $8. My valuation is 958. If you think my valuation is crazy, let me know in the comments because YouTube likes to see that type of engagement. Let me know if you've maybe adapted this type of valuation to your when you price stocks. That's what makes me unique is I have this crazy calculation that is unique to me. So yeah, 958 is the stock price. Gross margin, that's beautiful. Again, they're not profitable. Earnings per share over the past 5 years, that's solid. Sales over the past 5 years, solid. I mean, this is a solid company. If you're going to be holding this 5, 10, 15, 20 years, are you really going to be concerned if you bought it at 7 or 5? Because that's what I'm trying to think right now. Because I, I kind of want to get on the bandwagon. Um, okay, so we're going to check what institutions are doing. And we also want to see if there's any shares going to be just dropped on the market because that would really suck. It says institutions own 35.3%. That is old data because FinViz does not update often. New data, this website updates daily, shows a 39% ownership. That's about a 6% increase to the upside, which is good because that's a lot of money. And look right here, we are hitting. This is the highest institutional and hedge fund ownership going back to August of last year. So that's pretty awesome. Do you want to guess Vanguard and BlackRock are the top owners here? Let's see. That's my guess. Only Vanguard. Okay. Wow, Vanguard added 13 million shares. That's a lot of money. Okay. So share lockup. Let's see. Does SOFI have a share lockup? Date. Let's see. I guess I should have said 2024. Um, let's see. Okay, so it's saying a lockup period. So it says, yeah. So it looks like the lockups are done. So let's just see. Let's see what we get here. It just gives us the same information we have. So, yeah. It doesn't sound like they're going to be releasing any more shares into the pool, but I mean, this is gross. Okay, so we saw the hedge funds are buying. Insiders are overall. Jeremy is selling. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Jeremy's selling. So, but I mean, the CEO is buying a little bit. So, institutions and hedge funds are buying. Insiders 50-50. Um, Beautiful sales. EPS is turning around. Again, if you're looking to trade this day trade style, I mean, watch this area. But if you're going to be in for the long term, um, I mean, this speaks for itself. EPS going positive, sales going up. Let's see if they are heading towards profitability really quick while we are together. And we're going to want to go to annual and no, not really. They're kind of just actually they were profitable last quarter. They were profitable last quarter, it looks like right here. Net income's positive. Barely, but positive. So we could have an amazing earnings. Um, yeah, I'm excited. So again, owning this long term, apples to oranges. The bearish side, if it's going to go down, I say 540 to fill that gap. And then from there, reverse. We're going to see 850 to fill the nearest gap to the upside, and then 950, and then we're going to have a $10.50 resistance, then around 12 11 $12. So I don't have a position as of recording this video, which is several days before the earnings call. However, if I do purchase, I will post it in my YouTube community so you can see how much I'm buying. This is something I am likely going to add to my long-term M1 Finance M1 Finance portfolio. So just heads up. If you made it this far, consider hitting the subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me if you think my valuation strategy is bananas. Have a great day. Good luck if you're in this one.